Welcome to Between the Notes with Motif Magazine. We are the Red Bridge Band. Smattering. Oh my God, thank you for even showing up live. If you're here live, well, thank you. All right, so I think, is it Ted's turn to do a song now? Oh my God, so we're going to pass the reins over to Ted. Ted Seeley, ladies and gentlemen.
with a little Creedence. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us again. Parlour Providence, we love it. Great, great people having this event tonight. Let's give a round of applause to everyone having this event tonight. Happy Monday, everybody. It's only going to get better from here. This next one is an oldie but a goodie. Little Boss Skaggs and Bonnie Raitt. A little ditty called Hell to Pay.
said, me oh my, what a big old pie. And I sure as hell feel my cup. Now that senator's coming on a big white horse, and that judge is gonna fix me up. Oh, this moment, it's time to fight or pray. It's time to run and time to shot. There's gonna be hell to pay.
I need new glasses. Again, welcome to Between the Notes with Motif Magazine. That's right, Motif Magazine, everyone's favorite publication. Giving you reviews, all the concert news, all the dates that are important that you should go view. Great publication. Woo! And thank you, everybody, for still doing it. The word of print has been out lately, so we're happy that we can pick one up at the... Matter of fact, I just folded one up and put it in my pocketbook.
All right. I'm getting ready to go to Louisiana pretty soon, and it's one of my favorite songs from that.
Lisa G, everybody. This will be our last song. We have 2 minutes left. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
That's you. Let's go.
Maybe I'll be real dumb. Maybe I'll talk tonight. You learn to cry like me. Baby, let's just wait and see. Maybe I'll start tonight and do things right.
Maybe I'll do things right.
Maybe I'll start tonight. When you learn to cry like me. Baby, let's just wait and see. Maybe I'll start tonight and do things right. You'll control me oh so boldly. Rule me till I'm free. The pain that shapes me finally makes me get up off of my knees. Yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe I'll be fast as you. Maybe I'll break hearts too. You learn to cry like me. Baby, let's just wait and see. Maybe I'll start tonight and do things right. You control me oh so boldly. Rule me till I'm free. The pain that shakes me finally makes me get up off of my knees. Yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe I'll be fast as you. Maybe I'll break hearts too. I think you'll slow down when your turn to hurt comes around. Maybe I'll break hearts and be as fast as you. I said maybe I'll break hearts and be as fast as you. Suka. You control me oh so boldly. Rule me till I'm free. The pain that shakes me finally makes me get up off of my knees. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Motif.
Thank you, Motif. Thank you, Paula. This was a great opportunity. God bless everybody, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Between the Notes with Motif Mag here at the Parlour in Providence, Rhode Island. I am the interviewer for today, Jack Downey. It's great to be back. And with me tonight are the Red Bridge Band. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
And if you didn't see their set earlier on the live stream, they did a phenomenal job, including a really great version of Bad Moon Rising by Clearance Clearwater Revival, as well as some other classic rock tunes. So before we get started, would you like to introduce yourselves and the instrument that you play?
I'm Jay, lead guitar, Jay Ramasco.
Lisa G, keyboards and accordion.
John Popley on drums.
Ted Seeley, bass and vocal. Paul Galogli on rhythm.
Sarah T, vocals, and it's only fitting that the youngest went last.
Vocals and tambourine.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I play a mean triangle.
It's underrated. It's an underrated position in any band.
No cowbell.
No, nothing to cure the fever. But so, I gotta say, I mean, I really liked the selection of songs that you had. A lot of really cool tunes. It kind of spanned from like later '60s stuff to some bluesier elements, and I thought that was really cool. So, who are some of the acts that you would say have influenced you, like in starting this band and playing these songs?
Well, we kind of grown out of roots rock. You know, we're John and Paul and I have been, believe it or not, we've been kind of jamming together for over 50 years.
Wow.
We met in college back in '69, '70, and started to just play jam music when bands like Creedence and The Band and Cream and all kinds of music like that, Stevie Winwood, Blind Faith, was going strong. So we kind of come from that heritage, and then we've grown in roots music. Lisa, plays a lot of New Orleans stuff, and so it's developed there, but it's based around kind of roots rock, I guess you'd say. Lisa, don't you? Yeah.
Roots rock. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I think our influences have changed over the years because going back to the 60s, we were listening to, the Stones, the Beatles, and Creedence and them. And then, now we're listening to stuff like Jason Isbell and, in between John Hyatt and, Steve Earle and all those people. So it spans many generations of music, actually. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's great that you've continued to listen to new things over time. That's because there are so many people who just like lambast all new music. When like you said, there are people like Jason Isbell who are actually really good. So.
Yeah. And with six of us in the band, what's really fun is each of us bring our preferences, and so we have a great song selection process. That's why I think we end up with a really good mix of cool songs because everybody has something they love and they bring it forward. We try it out. If we think we can do a great job on it, then it gets in the set. That's just how we do it.
That makes sense. So I gotta say to the two guitar players as well. I was loving, as a guitar player myself, I was loving the guitar tones that you guys were throwing down. I mean, it was some truly great stuff. Honestly, you might have single-handedly influenced me to get a Stratocaster. Actually, I have a Telecaster. That was the first guitar I ever got, and I love it. It's been amazing. But that, I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to come around. So, yeah. But so what? I mean, obviously, you guys, you said you were in college during some of the like craziest bands in the history of rock and roll. I mean, so what would you say was the big impetus that drove you guys to pick up instruments?
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, Jay played guitar well before I did, and we got together after we got out of college. A bunch of us moved down to D.C., and he influenced me to get a guitar. I got one, and I started playing, and then John's been playing drums for quite a while, but he was out in Chicago and all over the place, so it took us a while to get back together. He moved back to East Providence. I was living in Providence the whole time. Jay was in Providence, and the three of us got together, and we just started playing, and eventually started, looking for someone to play with us. And then we got a couple of great musicians to join us. Lisa came around because Lisa lives in John's neighborhood, and they just happened to, meet up musically, actually, because she plays in a group that does acoustic. They just kind of play out, and then Ted joined the band, and a great bass player. Love him. So yeah, it's kind of evolved over time.
I've been playing music probably since I was about 10 years old. School bands, that kind of thing, trombone, baritone, and then started playing bass in my late teens. Pretty much self-taught, but I could read music and just taught myself the technique. Played in bands, and so I've been playing music for a long time.
But you
That's
took
awesome.
a big break too, Ted.
Big break, yeah. I was away from it for, I won't tell you how many years, but a long time. Okay, raised a family and so on. Got back into it about 7 years ago, I guess. And I said, something I'd like to do, picked up the bass and got back in and then connected with these guys, so.
That's great. That's awesome.
Ted, I didn't know that. That's the same time I started playing drums about 7 years ago, because I was a saxophone player prior to in high school and stuff. So, yeah,
Really?
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually met John. I was playing accordion with my other group on the side of the road, Rumford Junction. We were on here a few months ago, and John walked by and said, "Does anybody here play keyboards?" And I'm like, "Well, this is kind of a keyboard, but yeah, I do have keyboards." So that's how I ended up with. So I unleashed my rock side, which these guys have really helped me to develop that part of my repertoire.
Break out of that
because
shell.
I've always been doing acoustic and folk and bluegrass, and I love all that stuff. But when I connected with these guys, I got into the rock. And I think we forgot to talk about our newest member, Sarah.
I was just going to say that.
They found me in a fetal position on the side of the road in
No,
2020.
Actually, what we found was a singer, because
They-
we were groping to sing these songs. We're like, oh man, nobody in the band can really sing them well enough, and so we looked
still
for a
can't.
singer, and we found Sarah. So tell us, you played, you sang before.
I've been in bands for 30 years, well over 30 years. I used to, oh gosh, I've been in days.
When are you going to bring us a punk rock tune to try out? Come on.
Well, but I've always had like a country kind of outlawry, kind of like the Outlaw station on Sirius. It's like my favorite radio station. It's just so good. And the country musicians and all those, like Waylon Jennings, and I know my grandma loved Hank Williams, and so good. I'm a huge Buck Owens fan. I could listen to him all day. I just heard Who Will Mow Your Grass on the way down here. This is just unbelievable music, and it gets, I think, not lost, but it's just nice to play it and be part of just whatever. I'm sounding like an idiot now, but
No.
yeah. So again, Steely Dan, big fan of. It's just music brings everybody together, and I don't think it matters what you're playing. I think it's if everyone's enjoying it, then you can't go wrong. So.
No,
I
that's a
hope
good outlook
everybody-
to have.
Yeah, I mean that's everyone thinks that. I mean it's universal. So, and even if you like to do karaoke and go out, it's all good, man. You like to sing, that's awesome. I'll let One Page Ted take it over.
But Jack, I've watched some of the video from the Parlour, and there's a lot of great original bands that play here. That all different types of music, whether it's punk or thrash or just country, and there's a lot of original written tunes, and so we play some songs that people might not know, that we kind of think of as originals in a way. They might not know Dwight Yoakam Fast As You, but if it's up tempo and just rocking out, like we played at the Hot Club a week ago Friday night. We played a 3-hour and 20-minute gig, which for us was like exhausting, but we played that long because we had 3 encore calls, and we ended up with a song that was well known called "Knock on Wood" by Eddie Floyd, which is a soul tune, and the crowd went nuts. So we try to.
Handful of songs. I mean, it's great if you have any songs that stand the test of time, but I think it'd be greater to have people who actually can find some of the deeper cuts and appreciate those. So that's I think that's really cool. But and on in terms of like taking even more well-known songs and making them your own, I mean, you had accordion on Bad Moon Rising, which leads me to my next topic of discussion, which is, I mean, how easy is it to incorporate an accordion into a rock band?
Yes, no problem.
There you go.
When you leave
Obviously.
when you leave the G, anything goes.
No, I mean, I've been playing accordion a lot more than I started out on keyboards as a kid, but I mean, I have adapted accordion because I like to go to a lot of festivals and outdoor things and jams, and that's works better in that setting. So, like I said, I met John. I was playing accordion, and he was like, "Oh, does anyone play?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I had this keyboard I hardly ever used." So, I like to have some accordion. I convinced these guys to have it on a couple songs, like some of these tunes. Not convinced, but well, they were always like, turn it up, you know. So,
We want it on every song.
so you know, and I like a lot of the Louisiana music, as we mentioned, like Zydeco and Cajun and stuff like that. And you know, we don't have a Zydeco tune yet, but I'm working on it. Get it. It's
One of the 5 songs.
Yeah. No, I don't have one yet, but yeah. I don't think it's hard to incorporate. To me, it's just like a vertical keyboard to me, and it just has a different tone, and it's fun.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we are so happy to be here, to be out playing again. We have a couple of things coming up. Is it okay to mention those things?
Go for it.
All right, so Ted?
Yeah. July 23rd, we're going to be playing.
I hope we're entertaining the neighbors. I hope we haven't seen any police cars yet, so maybe we
That's
are.
good.
And so thank you for letting us tell you about that, Jack.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. I mean, you guys heard it here first. Red Bridge Band is going to be playing July 23rd in Narragansett and July 30th in Barrington, and possibly in a backyard near you. So
June is consumed by personal things, graduations and weddings, and
May and June.
spring is here, baby. Let's go.
If you've ever tried to coordinate schedules for 6 people, you know what we're talking about. You know?
it's my bands have 4 people, and that's difficult enough. So yeah, I can only imagine with 6.
By the way, Jack, thanks to Eric. I mean, you mentioned the guitar sound. So for us to have this kind of miking and PA, it's super cool for us. It's super professional. And thank you to Eric and the Hot Club, the Parlour, for that sound, because what you were hearing out of the whole band really came through him.
I kept looking to see who the bass player was because I wasn't sure.
And thank you, video man over there.
Yeah, that's Sean.
Jack, we'll come see your band.
thank
How's
you.
that? We'll come
Oh,
see
that's
your band.
great. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
That'll be great. We'll get you sketch.
Sounds good. But yeah, shout out to Eric and Sean for making these live streams possible.
Thank you.
All right, and so I was actually going to ask about when your next gigs are coming up, but I should ask too, so do you guys travel around like New England or the country, or do you mainly stick to Rhode Island?
I just met these fools.
We're getting there. We'll go. It depends on how much they want to pay us. If we want to go, you want to send us to New Hampshire.
Pulling teeth, so I appreciate it. And also, I should ask, what is the Red Bridge? Is that the Golden Gate Bridge, or is that a different bridge?
Okay,
Well,
so a little history for you.
Yeah.
Between Providence and East Providence, many years ago, there was a bridge called the Red Bridge, which connected the cities. That was torn down, and they built the Henderson Bridge.
Okay.
Painted it
So
red.
if you go to the end of Waterman and you just keep going, you will eventually run into the old giant, granite blocks that supported the Red Bridge that went directly across, the original Red Bridge. So when we were getting together, John lives in East Providence, Jay and I live in Providence, so I thought, okay, let's get
My
something that
business-
connects the two
My
of them.
business is in the shadow of the Henderson Bridge.
Right. So we just decided the Red Bridge Band was a good name for the band.
And
Yeah,
now
So that's where it comes from.
they're building a new
We're
one.
tearing it down.
They're building the new Red Bridge, and
Really?
it'll be ready in 2
Are
years.
they going
And
to call it the Red Bridge now?
We are.
It has to be the same. It can't change. That's the rule of Rhode Island.
it's kind of cool though,
They're
because
putting
it
a rotary
bridges
over
the two sides, and there's a bridge of a lot of different kinds of music, that we play.
we're
So it
half
has a
and half
nice.
split, except for
Tone.
Ted is further away.
Yeah, I come from South County, so I just travel, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I pack an overnight bag for rehearsal.
Except the toll company's been looking for you.
I know.
No, that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, even no matter what they call it, I guess it'll always be the Red Bridge, right? I mean, some they change the name of things all the time, but I think the original name always sticks out the most.
Stick,
Yeah.
even when
So.
the new one's
Well, it's
done.
like-
Even if they
Iconic, I
painted
think.
green, right?
That would be difficult. Yeah, that would, if they painted it green, it really would not be the Red Bridge anymore. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they respect the history of the bridge.
Well, they're making another rotary, which is cause more confusion in this state.
So one thing as a band that we should acknowledge is John and his wife Chris, who allow us to practice in their basement every week. It's a great setup because John's got his drums set up and he doesn't have to move them, and we just show up. All the
That's the
amps are
best.
there, and we're able to practice for a couple hours once a week. But
It's like we're
Yeah.
21 again. I love
And
it.
last year we were outside, actually when I joined these guys, it was 2020 and there was nothing going on, and these guys were playing in the backyard every week, and it was a perfect
Wrapped in cellophane.
thing to do. So that's, we think we entertain the neighbors, I don't know.
We did.
So,
They
If we're not calling the police, I think
They
you're
came
doing a
out
good
on
job,
Friday
so.
nights, yeah. But we, speaking of where we played, I mean, John and, as I said, John and Paul and I jammed a long time. We played Bad Moon Rising on acoustic guitars with guys playing bongos like John and just banging away. And to come around to that type of music still is really cool. But
I bet.
we played a reunion party for our group where we met in Europe in junior year abroad in college. And then, we played acoustic mostly, a little bit of electric. And then we played an electric gig in Chicago for our group. And John was living there. And then, we'd get together at Paul's basement, which we called Studio A, Studio B is, and John would fly out. We'd rent drum kits, a PA. We'd, try to play bass, and Paul and I would play. And we'd play all weekend. We'd play Friday night through Sunday morning, and then everybody would leave. It was like the Allman Brothers, holing up in a house for 2 weeks.
It's like Exile on Main Street.
Except we couldn't play like
Except it was 3 days. But then, just pointing out what Paul said, John moved, and his wife Chris were going to move from Chicago, and they were looking at North Carolina and other places. And the fact is, they chose Rhode Island, and I'd have to think a tiny bit of it had to do with music. Oh, for sure. And so that came full around when he moved back, and then when he was looking for houses, he specifically needed a basement that was going to support probably 3 bands. So it's kind of cool the way it all came back around for us. And then finding Ted, we lucked out. John put ads out. Ted lives in Wakefield. We said, oh, man, he'll never come to Providence. He did. And then finding Lisa just fortuitously, and then Sarah the same way. Just as it's really gratifying for us to play with 3 new people.
Yeah, I bet. No, that's a very cool, I guess, story throughout time. That fact that it's kind of just worked out this way.
There's a bridge there, yeah.
Yeah, goes back to the bridge, goes full circle. Well, I believe that's all the time we have. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Red
Thank
Bridge
you.
Band.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Motif.
Thank you, Motif.
Thank
you,
you.
Parlour.
Great work.
Eric and Sean, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to our sponsors for today, who are Trinity Beer Garden, R1 Racing, and Gray Sail Brewery. And thank you, as always, to the Parlour for hosting. And thank you to everyone who tuned in and listened. If you want to watch back to this, you can look it up on Facebook. This audio will be on Spotify at some point, hopefully soon. So definitely keep checking it out, and stay tuned for next week's podcast. Until then, have a good night, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks.